Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Today our group will be discussing about blending learning versus traditional learning, a comparative study. Education has changed a lot in the recent year. With technology, learning is no longer about sitting in the classroom and listening to the teacher. Students can now use online tools, attractive video, and other digital resources to help them learn. This is important for us as a future teacher because we need to know how to use this tool to help our students learn better. First, let's talk about traditional learning. Traditional learning is the usual way of teaching. It's happened in the classroom where teacher lead the lessons. Students follow a fixed timetable, attend school in person, and most of our learning depend on the teacher. Teacher give lecture, explain topic, and check student work directly. For example, in Malaysia primary school, students sit in the row, listen to the teacher, do exercise together in the class. Traditional learning is good for young students because they get the direct guidance and the structure. But it also has some problem. It is less flexible. Students must follow a strict schedule and it may not suit a different learning style. Technology is not used much in this method. Next, we have blending learning. Blending learning is a mix of face-to-face teaching and online learning. Students still go to the school, but they also use online tools like Google Classroom, Zoom, video, and discussion boards. Students can learn anytime and anywhere, which gives them more control over their learning. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many Malaysian schools and universities used blending learning. Teacher would teach some lesson in the class while using online platform for homework, quiz, or extra learning material. Blending learning helps students learn on their own, improve digital skills, and fix different learning style. But it also has challenge. Student needs to be disciplined to study online. Not everyone has a good internet connections, and teacher must know how to use these digital tools. Okay, so the goal of our discussions today is to compare these two types of learning. We want to look at their strengths, weaknesses, and how well they will help a student learn. We will also share our group perspective on which method is better for today's students and classroom. As a future teacher, it is important for us to understand both methods. This way, we can choose the best way to teach our students based on their needs, resources, and learning style. After we explain both types of learning, our group will share our opinion and suggestion for the futures. Now, I will hand over to the next member who will talk more about the traditional learning, including its strength, weaknesses, and example. That's it from me. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl Rachel Anat Louise. Today, I'm diving into traditional learning as part of our comparative study on blended versus traditional approach. Traditional learning, often called conventional or face-to-face education, has been the backbone of schooling for centuries. It's the classic model where teachers lead lessons in physical classrooms and students learn directly from them. Let's break it down. Its explanation, key characteristic, strength, and challenge. Explanation and characteristic. As its core, traditional learning revolves around a teacher-centered approach. The instructor is the primary source of knowledge, delivering lessons through lectures, demonstrations, and discussion. Picture a fixed classroom setting, rows, a desk, a blackboard or whiteboard up front, and everyone gather in one room at a scheduled time. Key characteristics include teacher-centered delivery. The teacher plans, teaches, and assesses, guiding the flow of information. Fixed classroom environment. Learning happens in a designated physical space, promoting routine and structure. Direct real-time interaction. Students ask questions, get clarifications, and engage face-to-face with the teachers and peers. This setup fosters a sense of community, while social cues like nods, eye contact, and group energy enhance the experience. Strength. Emphasize positive with enthusiasm. Traditional learning shines in several ways, making it a reliable choice, especially in resource-limited settings. Here are its main strengths. First, better classroom control. Teacher can monitor behavior closely, maintain discipline, and adjust on the spot. No distractions from screens or notifications, just focused attentions. Second, immediate feedback. If student raise a hand during a math lesson, the teacher can explain a concept right then, correcting misunderstanding before they snowball. This real-time loop builds confidence and retentions. Third, suitability for young learners. For primary school kids, the structured routine and personal presence provide emotional security. They thrive on the teacher's warmth, storytelling, and hands-on activity like group games or experiments you can replicate virtually. In a sense, it creates a predictable, nurturing space that supports foundational skill building. Challenge. Of course, no approach is perfect. Traditional learning faces notable challenge in today's diverse world. First, less flexibility. Fixed schedules and locations mean no adapting to a student family trip or illness. Everyone must show up, rain or shine, which can exclude working parents or rural students. Second, limited technology integration. While some classes have projectors, most rely on analog tools. This misses out on interactive videos, simulations, or global research that could enrich lesson. Difficult meeting different learning style. Not every student fits the one-size-fits-all mold. Visual learners might need more diagram, kinesthetic ones, hands-on demos, but lectures dominate. Living auditory or read-write styles better serve while others struggle. These issues can widen gaps, especially for diverse needs. Let's ground this in reality with example from Malaysian schools. Think of a standard 4 science class in a typical Kuching government school like SK Pending. The standard teacher stands at the front, drawing the water cycle on the board. Students copy notes, then do a group demo with beakers and hot water for evaporation. Question fly. Cikgu, why does it rain? And she answered instantly, passing around a damp cloth to feel condensation. It's engaging, controlled, and hands-on. But if the school bus is late or power flickers, the lesson grinds to a halt. This traditional learning in action effective yet rigid. So the conclusion is, in summary, traditional learning offers structure, immediacy, and personal touch through its teacher-centered fixed setting approach, ideal for control and young minds, but held in flexibility and tech limits. It set the stage perfectly for comparing blended learning. That's all from me. Let's move to Shauki.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Now I will explain about blended learning. First, what is blended learning? Blended learning is a teaching approach that combines face-to-face learning and online learning. This means students do not learn only in the classroom and they do not learn fully online either. Instead, they experience both methods. In blended learning, students attend physical classes with their teachers, but they also complete activities, assignments, or discussion through online platforms. So, learning happens both inside and outside the classroom. For example, after the COVID-19 pandemic, many schools and universities start using blended learning. Students might attend class 2 or 3 times a week, and on other days, they learn through Google Classroom, Zoom, or their university's learning management system, also known as LMS. This system allows teachers to upload notes, videos, quizzes, and assignments online. Students can access this material anytime. Now, let's look at the characteristic of blended learning. The first characteristic is that it is a mix of physical and visual classes. Students still meet their teacher in person, but technology plays an important role in supporting learning. Second, blended learning uses digital platforms such as Google Classroom, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or LMS. These platforms help teachers share materials and communicate with students easily. Another important characteristic is that it encourages independent learning. Students are responsible for checking online materials, completing tasks, and managing their own times. Blended learning is also more flexible. Students can watch recorded lecture again if they do not understand something. They can pause, reply, and review the lesson at their own pace. This is something traditional classroom usually cannot provide. Now, I will explain the strength of blended learning. One major strength is flexibility. Students can learn anytime and anywhere. As long as they have internet access, this is very helpful for students who may have other responsibilities or different learning speeds. Second, blended learning encourages self-directed learning. Students become more independent because they need to manage their own learning schedule. This helps them develop important skills like time management and responsibility. Third, it supports different learning styles. Some students learn better by watching videos. Some prefer reading notes, and others like interactive quizzes. Blended learning provides different types of materials, such as videos, slides, animations, and online discussion. This makes learning more inclusive. Another strength is access to digital resources. Students can explore extra materials online, such as educational websites, ebooks, and tutorial videos. These expand their knowledge beyond the textbook. Blended learning is also more engaging because teachers can use multimedia tools. For example, teachers can include videos, online quiz, polls, and interactive games. These tools make lesson more interesting and enjoyable. However, blended learning also have some challenge. One common challenge is internet connection problems. Not all students have stable internet access, especially in rural areas. If the connection is slow, students may miss important information during online classes. Another issue is that not all students have personal device like laptop and tablets. Some students may need to share device with family members, which can make learning difficult. Blended learning also requires strong self-discipline because part of learning is done independently. Students must be responsible. If students do not manage their time well, they may fall behind in their studies. In addition, teachers need good ICT skills. They must know how to use digital platforms, prepare online materials, and solve technical problems. Without proper training, it can be challenging for teachers. Lastly, there may be less face-to-face interaction compared to traditional learning. Some students may feel less connected to their teachers and classmates, especially during online sessions. In conclusion, blended learning is a modern approach that combines the best of traditional and online learning. It offers flexibility, independence, and access to technologies. However, it also requires good internet access, digital skills, and strong self-discipline. Overall, blended learning has become very important in today's digital era, especially after the pandemic. It is likely to continue growing in schools and universities in the future. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Norsaida Binti Nasser. Today I will talk about comparison, group perspective, and consolation. Part A, comparison. In this section, I will compare traditional learning and blended learning is several key aspects. Number 1, teacher methods. Traditional learning is actually teacher-centered where the teacher delivers the content direct in the classroom. Interaction occurs face-to-face and the learning structure is more fixed. On the other hand, blended learning combines face-to-face and online method. Teachers not only teach physically but also as digital platform such as Google Classroom, learning video and interactive quiz. This method is more flexible and deserved. Number 2, student engagement. In the traditional learning, student engagement relies on the class activities such as question and answer. However, some students are less active due to shyness or lack confidence. Blended learning, on the other hand, gives students more space to engage. Talk online forum, interactive quiz, and digital assignment. Shy students may be more confident in expressing their opinions online. Number 3, flexibility. Traditional learning is less flexible because it occurs on a fixed shoulder and requires physical presence. On the other hand, blended learning is more flexible because learning material can be accessed anytime and anywhere. This is very helpful for students with different learning style. Number 4, use of technology. In traditional learning, the use of technology is limited, where blended learning is highly dependent on the technologies such as computer, the internet, and learning application. However, it requires good internet facilities and access. Section B, Group Perspective. From our group discussion, we believe that blended learning is more suitable in today's digital era. This is because the correct generation of students is more exposed to technology and interactive learning. However, we also agree that traditional learning is still important, especially in building basic skills such as reading, rewriting, communication, and disciplinary values. In addition, we believe that teachers need to wisely using teaching method based on the needs of students. Not all students have the same access to technology, and not all topics are suitable for teaching completely online. Section C, consolation and feature application. In consolation, both approaches have their own strength and weakness. There is no one method that can be considered the best for all students because each individual has a different learning style. In the future, education will likely continue to combine their two approaches is more innovative and systematic, where teachers need to be constantly respective to improve the digital and pedagogical skill and others to adapt to technological change. Finally, a balance between technology and human interaction is the key on effective and holistic education system. Thank you.